When it comes to Australia, people often imagine the white sandy beaches stretching on the coast, the beautiful gorges of Kakadu National Park, or the red center desert tinged with red in the sunset. Especially, we can't forget to mention the Sydney Opera House's sails. Australia is not only a country of great natural beauty, it is also a culturally diverse country with enchanting museums, top-notch art galleries, unique coffee shops and restaurants with diverse cuisines from around the world. Last term, we learned about interesting things in Australia Part 1. If you haven't seen it, just click on the right side of the screen to enjoy. And now come to Part 2 in the video below. Coming to Queensland, you will discover one more interesting fact when it has wide sandy beaches, an impressive highlight of a visit to Fraser Island, the largest sand island in the world. Sightseeing trips will usually start from Hervey Bay. The boat will take visitors around to discover interesting places on the island. First of all, the clear blue water can see schools of colorful fish swimming beneath the boats of Lake Mackenzie surrounded by white sand. Next, tourists will enjoy the serenity of Champagne Pool while taking a dip in the shallow pools at the edge of the ocean. In addition, this place is home to 150 dingoes. This is a great opportunity for Australian tourists to admire one of the most famous wild dogs in this country. However, please note that they are wild animals. You need to keep your distance when interacting with them to avoid these dogs getting angry and will attack you. Australia boasts the world's longest rail link between Sydney and Perth. The cross-country rail line through the stunning Blue Mountains to the outback countryside towards the Flinders Mountains is one of the best experiences when traveling in Australia. Coming to this train, you will visit a stop in Adelaide, where you will have the opportunity to enjoy delicious food as well as visit the city's art museum. Continuing your journey, you will be transported through the Nullarbor Plain, where the longest straight train in the world is installed through the fertile Avon Valley straight to the city of Perth. After discovering this fun fact, you can plan a cruise across the Indian Pacific to see Australia's diverse landscapes and enjoy luxurious onboard services. Another interesting fact is that Australia also owns the world's largest war memorial, Great Ocean Road. This is one of the most popular driving roads in Australia, with stunning views and vistas along the route. This place is called a war memorial because this route was built by soldiers returning from World War I. The road was created for the purpose of commemorating those who died in battle. Great Ocean Road is designed to connect isolated communities clinging to the edge of Victoria's rugged coastline. On this winding road, there are famous sites such as the 12 Apostles, the Split Point Lighthouse, the charming towns of Port Fairy, and the surfing shores of Apollo Bay are all beautiful places for tourists to visit Mandarin. In addition, if you come here to travel between June and September, you can admire the migratory whales that come here to shelter from the cold winter. 80% of animal species in Australia are unique and they do not occur anywhere else in the world. From marsupials to giant birds, each has its own charm that creates an extremely diverse ecosystem for Australia. This country creates many conditions for visitors to admire wildlife, from national zoos to parks in the city centre when travelling to Australia. Perhaps it would be a big omission if, in the theme of Australian animals, the kangaroo is missing, the animal that represents this country. This is because kangaroo is very easy to find in Australia, from fields to agricultural lands. Sometimes they also appear on the streets or in the backyards of indigenous people's houses. As for koalas and platypuses, it can be a bit difficult to find them in the wild for Australian tourists. However, in this country, there will be directions that will take you to the places where they often hide. In addition, a potential danger when visiting the ocean in Australia is the box jellyfish. This mollusk can kill more people than devilfish, sharks, and crocodiles combined. The camel herd is reputed for being so undisciplined and rebellious that the Australian government has to launch a program worth $19 million to bring this humpback into the framework. And thanks to these abundant resources, Australia has become a close friend of Saudi Arabia and continuously exports camels for meat to the oil giant. Honest advice for anyone who is afraid of cockroaches is not to come to Brisbane on January 26th. Because this is known as the day of the cockroach racing competition. This event was first held in 1982 under the name Soft Cocky. Cockroaches contestants will be brought to the competition or can be purchased at the counter in the area. If you want to try a thrill of cockroaches, watch this short video. The people of this country are also known as the coolest giants who spend the most money on the planet on casinos. Australia has the highest odds in the world, with over 80% of Australian adults participating in red and black of some sort and 20% of the world's poker machines found in Australia. By the end of 2019, Australia has a total of 20 World Heritage Sites, including 4 cultural heritages, 12 natural heritages, and 4 mixed sites, including both cultural and natural values courses. Australia's first site was recognized as the Great Barrier Reef, and Kakadu National Park was recognized in 1981. The Great Barrier Reef, with an area of 34.87 million, is a World Heritage Site with an area 3rd largest in the world. Australia has 4 mixed heritage sites: Kakadu National Park, Woolloomooloo Juta, the Willandra Lakes region, and the Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area. Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area is one of only 2 places in the world that meet 7 of the 10 World Heritage criteria, along with Mount Tai in China. The rest of the locations on the list are mammal fossil sites in Australia, Riverslea and Naracoorte. Australian prison chains of the 18th to 19th century. Fraser Island. Australia's Gondwana rainforests. Greater Blue Mountains area. Heard Island and McDonald Islands. Lord Howe Island. Macquarie Island. Ningaloo Coast. Pernullialoo National Park. Royal Pavilion and Carlton Gardens. Shark Bay in Western Australia. Sydney Opera House. Wet tropics of Queensland. Budge Bim cultural landscape. Australia Day today is a celebration of diversity and tolerance in Australian society, embracing all ethnicities, racial differences, and political views. Australia was the second country in the world to give women the right to vote in 1902. Australia is widely regarded as the sports capital of the world, with up to 70% of the total population participating at least once a week in a particular sport or leisure activity. The most popular sport is Australian rules football. Surprisingly, however, Australia is the most obese country in the world as of 2012 with a 26% obesity rate, despite being a sport-loving nation. Australians live very comfortably, and there is no dress code. Usually, at work, they wear standard uniforms, but for normal activities, it depends on their personal preferences, but still ensures politeness. Many Indigenous Australians also have the habit of dressing according to the weather and beach fashion, and often this style of dress is a bit more open. Studying in Australia is not an important day, or there is a special request from the school. International students can wear clothes freely. However, note that you should choose comfortable, neat, and polite clothes suitable for the learning environment. The communication culture of Australians is very polite and open. Their usual communication shows minimum politeness in each sentence, such as please, thank you, and sorry, comma. Normally, in communication, Australians often address their own names, especially friends, or in companies and businesses. It is inevitable here that Australians do not like direct questions related to age or marital status. These are things to avoid when you communicate and are also one of the unique features of Australian culture. In addition, Australians value punctuality and appreciate keeping promises when invited to somewhere or to join a meeting. So when you have promised or accepted an invitation, you should not break your promise, or being late for an appointment will inadvertently make a bad impression on yourself and create a lack of trust in the other person. Now, let's pack some useful information about interesting facts that few people know about this country before embarking on a trip to Australia. Thank you for watching today's video. If you find this video good, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to support ASK Pop Entertainment to make more exciting videos.